Hello friends, my name is Jimmy Singh, broker owner of Supermax Realty, 647-961-2639, or you can reach me at my website www.supermaxrealty.ca. So in this short video, I'm going to discuss what happens to the deposit in case buyer doesn't close the deal. So two things you have to understand before we discuss, the details. First thing is the courts in Ontario, they have, a law which says if the deposit is 10% or less than that, that is considered a true deposit. And if a deposit is more than, 10% means like you're giving 11%, 15%, 20% deposit when you put an offer in the real estate trust account, that is not a deposit, that is part payment. So that differentiation, everybody has to be aware of that, because what happened down the line when the deal doesn't close, it is different outcomes. So let's say somebody is buying $1 million house and he is putting $150,000 deposit, because sometime you're in multiple offer situation. To improve your offer, you want to put a substantial deposit so your offer is accepted. But things can change, people lose their job, with COVID, businesses can close. So somebody can be caught, in a tricky situation. So what is the definition of a deposit? The code says deposit is a, kind of incentive for a buyer to complete the responsibility, and it is intended to compensate the seller who experience loss in case the buyer refused to close the transaction, right? So code, what happen is, if things doesn't, close on time, basically the money is sitting in a broker's trust account, or sometime if it's a newer home or development, the money is sitting in lawyer's trust account, but nobody can touch it. So either if both the parties have to, fight with each other in the court, and the court decide who get to keep the deposit. But one thing is for sure, if it is considered a deposit, 10% or less than that, that money by default has to go to the vendor or the seller. And there's no doubt about it. Obviously you can have a mutually signed and agreed by both the parties. But what also happen is, if the deposit is more than 10%, maybe it's 11%, 15%, and there is no loss. Let's say seller put their house up again for relisting, and he end up getting more money out of the house. At that time, the court says, there's no loss to you, so you have to return whole of the amount back to the buyer if it is considered part payment, meaning 11% or more than that. So that is a key differentiation, guys. So when you have money in the trust account, if you're a buyer, if it's more than 10%, you have the right to claim the money back in case the seller sells for more money, because no damages to the seller means no case against you. So there's no entitlement to the funds. At the same token, if the market slows down, the seller has to relist and sell the house for less money. Maybe he lose $40,000-$50,000. He can go to a court and he can request an order to receive a portion of part payment to mitigate his losses. So as I said, this is a small video. I'm a real estate broker. I'm not a litigation lawyer or real estate lawyer by any stretch. So before you jump the gun, or if you're a seller, before you sign a mutual lease, talk to a lawyer who know what they're doing, and try to find a resolution among each other. That is the best way to go, out of court settlement, because litigation can be expensive. So if in case you have a further question or looking to buy or sell properties anywhere in Greater Toronto area, Golden Horseshoe, Hamilton, Kitchener-Waterloo, London, give me a call. My number is 647-961-2639. And in case you like the video, go to my YouTube channel, Real Estate Edge with Jimmy Singh. Give it a thumbs up, leave your comment, and wish you a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching.